Please take a moment to examine this photograph for 1 minute. I invite you to meditate on every face. Let's engage in an in-depth analysis as if we were art critics. In the midground on the right, a soldier aims his M4 carbine at the child in blue. Running away in the foreground, he's about to shoot him. To the shooting soldier's side, another soldier is loading his M4 carbine to shoot at what looks like the other children. The out-of-focus boy in gray on the right appears as though he's about to grab the boy in the ice green sweater, who seems to be frozen in fear so they can run. The boy in the navy sweater standing closest to the soldiers is the only boy whose torso is turned towards the soldiers, and it looks like he's gesturing with his bare hand to the soldiers not to shoot. In the background, a man by the truck is looking with a side eye at the situation. His face looks worried, but his posture remains unperturbed, maintaining a detached demeanor despite the situation. His livelihood most probably relies on delivering daily vegetables before the strict military curfew, and another child getting killed would disrupt that. A passerby on the sidewalk to the right glances back at the scene much like how you and I might react to a noisy motorbike passing us by. These boys are between 8 and 10 years old. They are dressed in denim pants and cotton sweaters, and they're about to get shot at like defenseless lambs by hyper-militarized soldiers. This photograph was captured by my friend Patrick Baz on November 26, 1993, in Gaza. During his tenure as a photojournalist, these are Palestinian children, and these are Israeli soldiers. And this is a glimpse into daily life in occupied Palestine. This is more than 30 years ago, but this never stopped. Let's examine another one of Patrick's photos. A child's bike in the foreground is on the floor. It could be a playful scene in another world, but in this world, whoever was riding this bike probably got off of it to run for their life from these hyper-militarized soldiers. I know the backstory of this photograph because Patrick shared it with me. In the image, these soldiers are chasing and shooting at children who are throwing stones. But this time they're shooting at them using M16 assault rifles. Look at the child in the red sweater in the foreground. She's a little girl, running away, carrying her backpack, coming back from school. She's the one who certifies to us that the soldiers are actually shooting, and not just aiming their assault rifles with threats because she is covering her ears. In the back, a group of old men sitting on the sidewalk observe the situation. They surely know that they are helpless, but the mid-ground scene is key. The mid-ground scene holds the narrative's intensity. A little boy hiding behind a tree. He is making himself even smaller than he already is, peering from behind the tree at the other soldiers from whom he is hiding. In another world not too far away from this place, children also hide behind trees, but they do so when playing hide-and-seek. In occupied Palestine, children hide behind trees seeking shelter from soldiers wielding M16 assault rifles on duty to actively hunt them down. This was March 1993. This picture won the prestigious POYI Picture of the Year International Award in the Spot News category that year, also taken by my friend Patrick Baz. This and this is a policy called Shoot to Kill. And I want to talk to you about this long-standing policy, as I will show you how the Israeli state consistently targets children and has historically always targeted children on purpose. While more than 9,000 children have been killed in record time by Israel's aerial bombardments in Gaza since October 7, leaving even the organization Save the Children at a loss for words when they famously said in December, "We are running out of words to describe the horrors unfolding for Gaza's children," Israel has pushed back many times, claiming it is not targeting civilians. Well, I'm going to show you that in the history of Israel's occupation, not only do they actively target civilians, but they specifically target children. So let's begin. Remember, these are photos from 30 years ago of Israeli soldiers shooting little children. But fast forward 30 years, these videos are from last month in the West Bank. Watch.
And this is the moment the 8-year-old was shot dead by an Israeli soldier. His brother Baha drags his limp body into cover behind a car.
This was an 8-year-old child named Adam al-Ghul, shot and killed by the Israeli army at point blank just last 29th of November during the Israeli daily killing raids in Jenin. The boy dragging Adam's limp body into cover behind a car, leaving a trail of blood, is his brother Baha, who was still exposed to the shooting but survived. Adam, the killed who was killed, was 8 years old, okay? 8. This is another video from the same day of a 15-year-old child named Basil Abul Wafa, who was also shot and killed by the Israeli army. Specifically, it was by a convoy moving 50 meters away who was leaving the city of Jenin. Maybe they wanted to get a couple more child kills on their way out to make their quota.
His friend, 15-year-old Basil, has also been shot dead close by.
These were caught on camera. Most others were not. This is 12-year-old Ayham al-Shafi'i, shot and killed by the Israeli army for no reason on November 2nd as he was standing by. This is 13-year-old Hamdan, who was shot in the back of the head and killed by Israeli soldiers while he was sitting in the back seat of a car driven by his dad. Why? Why not? Ruqayya Ahmed, 4 years old, shot and killed while sitting in the back seat of a shared taxi van. An Israeli military ambulance took Ruqayya and her mother to a checkpoint after they shot her dead, where her father met them. Israeli forces interrogated Ruqayya's father before allowing him to leave without releasing Ruqayya's body. Yusuf Zardad, 11 years old, shot and killed by Israeli soldiers from a